Okay. Good afternoon, all of you in TV land listening in. It's 3 o'clock on the 7th of June. Gosh, what's happened to the year? This is our admin executive meeting. Call to order. I'd like to address any public or committee comments. None on the phone, Chris? A strong no. Okay. Nobody listening in? Also is true. Okay. Okay, item number 3, Special District Risk Management Authority notification of election ballot. Is that you, Don?
Sure, I can cover that. In the packet, you should have the statement of qualifications. There are 4 qualified candidates, and if you read through their statements, I think they're all very well qualified, 3 of which are incumbents, and need to vote for no more than 3. So I know you probably haven't had time to look that over, and we have time. This isn't due till August 8th, but might take a look at it. Again, I looked at all 4 are very well qualified. 3 of them are incumbents. One is a new, but she's a mayor of Fontana, I think. So just a preference of the board, whichever up to 3 you want to vote for.
So we have 1 vote for the board, or is this each board?
1 vote, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, a district gets a vote, basically.
Just a vote from the district,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
All
Will you
right.
be including this in the board package for next Monday?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
maybe we can come to a conclusion then
That
and
way you'll have time to review it over the weekend and maybe come back with some recommendations. Again, it's not till August 8th, so we could
Okay.
technically do it to July meeting if we wanted to, but
Okay. Yeah,
to you.
let's do that. I don't know any of these people, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to look over the.
yeah.
We don't have any insights to performances, or you
the
mentioned.
only
one's a
name that I
mayor, but-
recognize is Sandy Seifert Raffleson. That's the only
Mhm.
name I recognize. Other than that, I'm not familiar with the candidates, but again, they're incumbents, so I assume they are well qualified and been doing the job.
Okay. I've been receiving emails from members running for Aqua positions. Is that something I should be bringing to the board, or is that an individual?
That's
That
another
is on the next
Okay.
agenda item.
Item.
It's all quiet.
Yeah, I don't think the board will have enough time to look at all this before Monday to make a decision. We're
Yeah.
seeing it now.
Yeah.
And I can probably make a decision by Monday, but I don't know if the rest of the board can.
Yeah.
They may want to.
And there's no.
They may want you to decide.
rush, right?
Yeah.
And there's no
Or you.
rush, so we'll just deal with it Monday.
Okay.
Okay, Aqua, item number 4, Association of California Water Agencies designee voting representative.
Yeah, it's been, past experience, it seems like it's always been where they do the voting for president, vice president at the spring meeting, which they didn't do this year. So doing it differently, all we need to do is designate a representative to actually vote, to sign the vote. I think the ballot is in the packet here. So this isn't the ballot, but this is the authorization form for the representative that you designate to vote. Usually, ever since I've been aware of it, the vice president runs for president, and there hasn't been an exception in the 11 years or so I've been around where that hasn't happened. So Kathy Green is the current vice president, and I know she's running. And I did receive an email from her, which I provided to Lauren, where she expresses her desire to be president and states her qualifications, so
So what you're looking for is for the board to designate
designate somebody.
one of the
to-
board members to be the designated voting representative.
Right.
And they necessarily don't have to show up anywhere. We'll just sign this, correct? Whoever it is.
Well, 2 years ago, I
you do
think, if I remember right, maybe it was 1 year ago, when I was at the conference in December, they voted for the current incumbent at that conference, and I met Kathy there. We talked a bit, so, if you want the Aqua designee, board member designee to take this lead, I'll go ahead and do that. But like I say, she sent me a text message, which I could respond directly, but I think it was just her providing background information.
I
that
think
she was
you've talked yourself into it. Wasn't Don Cortachado our representative for a number of years
Yeah.
on Aqua and for voting representative? So
He was on a
you're
committee,
it.
yeah, I think he was on-
Well, I'm sure the board will decide.
He was on one of the committees, yeah. But
Yeah.
The board can decide Monday who to designate.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get this by, was it June 16th? Yes.
Okay.
The board meeting's on the 12th, so we have time.
And what that would mean is if, when the board, if they select to vote for a particular person, then who's ever selected by the board as the representative would sign the document? Is that what it is? They don't have to physically be there when the voting comes for
No,
the,
it's going to be by email, I guess.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
okay.
So whoever you designate, we'll send that in. That person will receive the ballot and
Okay.
based on direction from the board, vote accordingly.
Well, I don't want to presuppose what the board's going to say, but I think Kathy's a great nominee. She's been very active this year, working with the president, and she's made a lot of
Yeah,
political connections. She's been in Sacramento quite a bit, so I think she's doing us well. But I haven't seen how her policies or directions have impacted those issues that are particularly of interest to us, like 606 and
Have you been aware of who's running for vice president? I haven't seen
have not.
any names.
I have not seen the vice.
So Pam Tobin is stepping down. She's termed out, and then Kathy Green is running to fill the president's position.
is the term 1 year?
Two.
2?
Okay, so we'll nominate that for a topic on Monday, and then the board will decide. Okay, item 5, status on LA Department of Water and Power releases into the valley.
Interesting developments in the last 48 hours.
I saw that. How did it go that far?
First of all, as of yesterday, based on their estimated flows, we're 6,611 acre feet, which is more than 3 times the 2017 release total.
Mhm.
But as you've seen, as the staff has gone out there and been dropping pins on locations for the leading edge, in 24 hours, it went from, for the longest time, it was just staying in that one area, going back and forth, and all of a sudden, boom, it took a big leap.
What causes that? Do we know? That's sort of, it's
Well,
odd.
What Ken said, Ken is the one that's going out there, and Jason
Yeah.
can chime in, but what they've observed is that when the dams failed, that the county had built,
Yeah.
the release was spreading laterally, kind of filling a big area. And what's happened since, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what he said this morning was it's more or less coalesced now into one,
Yeah, it's forming a chasm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's all kind of going into one stream, and
One channel, yeah.
we'll watch it, but it's kind of ironic, because yesterday at the community collaborative meeting, I brought a map just to show everybody all the pin drops and where it had gone all the way to Brown Road, but then it came all the way back around to the northwest. And I said, based on what we're seeing, we're not inclined to take any action on the district property to try and slow the release down. I don't think we'll see anything.
Then all of a sudden,
boom.
And I come back in the office that day, and then all of a sudden, it made that big advance. So, and then this morning, I think Ken said that hadn't it reached the Watkins property?
It reached the
But-
Watkins property again. It's
but
receded
receded.
since then, but we'll watch it. I mean, the clouds are gonna go away. It's gonna get hotter again. People are driving through it and all sorts of stuff, so.
And we really can't take any action anyway because we don't have the stream mitigation agreement in hand.
yeah, so you couldn't do anything if you wanted to.
Which
this
we're
time.
following up on. I did copy the email to Paul Goslin, because at the state board, because he's interested in trying to expedite these.
We got to protect all the fish in that stream. That's what they're concerned with,
Prehistoric fish eggs.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
Is the Watkins property where they had the Balloon Fest years ago? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
so that's.
Very
We'll just
interesting.
keep an eye on it, and like I said, we really can't take any action until we get our stream alteration.
The flow is still basically about the same coming from that one area?
Yeah, there's only 2 of the 5 are releasing. I know Lynn, who works with LADWP, she called me the other day, and they came out and actually tried to look at some of the ones that are shut down to see if they could restart them, because they've been directed from LADWP, if there's any concern about flooding damage, anything getting washed out, they shut it down. So they've shut down 3 of the 5. So Sage and Freeman are the only 2 that are releasing at this point. They were trying to get Indian Wells. She came out, apparently the airport had some concern about some damage project they were doing. I don't know the specifics of it, but they came out, LADWP came out to look and talk to Scott Seymour to see what his concern was. Indian Wells was the one that was shut off for that concern. So I know it's still shut off, so apparently they still must have a concern at the airport.
That was making it down and crossing over Brown Road north of the overpass just before they shut it down as well. So it split in two directions. Some of it was going along Brown Road south of the overpass in the gutter next to the road, and a piece of it was making it underneath Highway 395 and down into Brown Road.
I don't think the snow melt's really started yet.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
locally
yet to come.
Yeah.
I know some skiers are planning, they think they might be skiing into August. Might have more snow before this snow melts.
Just might. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very peculiar. When I looked at the numbers that they report and you look at the flow front, how much it's varied, you'd think that maybe they were making a mistake about what they're reporting,
Yeah.
but they insisted it's
I mean,
37.
it almost seemed like it found a sweet spot and was just going straight down into the ground.
Is Stetson trying to monitor some wells nearby or something to see if there's any
Yeah,
effect?
there's at least 14. There were originally 14. I think they may have added one more data logger, but yeah.
To see if this is affecting the level? Okay,
Yeah. And Stetson will give a report on that at the GA meeting next week.
okay, Wednesday, all right.
Awesome. Okay, draft agenda for the regular board meeting. Did you have any comments, Ron?
Got a long closed session.
I'll say,
Yeah. Page and a half of closed session.
and we probably don't want to rush some of those items, so I'll mention that to Jim, that, even though 6 o'clock's a bogey, we shouldn't let that get in the way of doing due diligence during that meeting.
Well, if we have a
There's
crowd in
several
here.
items, I think we can get through it in
Yeah,
an hour and a half.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, on the rest of the agenda,
Any
designate.
designated voter? Kathy Green, GA.
Probably the most lengthy discussion item will be item C, the budget.
Well, that one's easy. Should be 5 minutes.
Can you keep it at
Slam
5 minutes, Ty?
I can do it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's you guys.
I thought you had that all handled.
Well, has it, so the finance, that's gone through the finance committee, and when is the final budget due? Do we need to be approving a budget
Yes.
so we'll be approving the budget?
July 1st.
That's what I thought.
First of the fiscal year, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we need to be approving the budget as it is.
Is the finance committee in agreement?
They didn't give a recommendation other than to take it to the board.
And,
Okay,
and we
you don't
know,
have a sense that, of the two board members, whether they're,
I do, I'll tell you later.
I know
No,
one has, I know one tends to have an opinion on
One has more
finances.
questions, but
Yeah.
didn't say one way or the other.
Okay,
I mean,
There's very little variation in it from the last year.
That's
other
what I
than
would
revenue
figure.
side, so.
pretty much, yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, I don't have any questions
No,
or
I don't
observations.
either. That will probably be the longest discussion of the regular board meeting, will be the finance. Everything else looks like it's pretty much cookbook.
Okay, then, well, here we are at the quarter hour point, and I think we're done. So we'll call the meeting at 3:13. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, staff.